welcome back to another episode of Swans Cast podcast. So, not been so much Swansea related content the last week or so, obviously been the international break, so we decided to get the next instalment of the podcast going. And kind of going with the international break theme, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about our feelings towards the break and talk a little bit about how Wales have done, not in too much detail though. Speak about any of the Swans players that have been away on international duty and how they have fared. And then we're going to also have a look at the run-in for the final last sort of 8 to 9 games of the season, depending on what club you are, and kind of talk about what we think is going to unfold, maybe. We'll see. I'd like to welcome Lee, who's joined me today for this one, so welcome, Lee.
Hello, how are we doing?
Yeah, doing right. How's your week off of football been, or like club football?
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit of a strange feeling, isn't it? When the football, I don't know, it's just weird with the international break, isn't it? Even though there is just plenty of football still going on, it still feels a bit empty, doesn't it? Especially on the weekend.
Yeah, so obviously we're going to start talking about the international break, so that you just kind of led into the question I was going to kind of ask, and that is, do you enjoy the international break? So I guess the answer is not really.
I do in a way because I look forward to the Wales games. But outside of that, I just find I don't watch. I can't watch like Israel against Scotland and and stuff like that and whatever it is.
Even England against San Marino.
Nah, I can't. I can't watch it. But and I love watching all football all the time. I don't know if it's like just when the club football is on, there's always sort of,
a big game.
Yeah, there's always a couple of games that you're interested in. Especially now, like we're looking at Brentford, we're looking at Watford. You're looking at the Premiership games. You're looking at Cardiff. There's just all sorts going on. But I find like in the international break, you're looking forward to the Wales games. But outside of that, it's a bit flat for me, and that's why it annoys me, especially on the weekend. I don't understand why they can't have like games on a Saturday afternoon, because it seems to be like Wednesday night. I know Wales played like Saturday night, which was good. But like, there's nothing like sort of Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. Why can't we have like a 12 o'clock kickoff and a 3 o'clock kickoff?
England played earlier on today.
Well, they played 5 o'clock when I think they kicked off, which was all right on a Sunday, I suppose. But
last I checked, they were 1-0 up against Albania, I want to say.
Yeah.
I didn't see the final score.
Yeah, it was Albania.
I'll have a look by the time we get to that. But I agree. I think like you said, you look forward to the Wales games, and I don't even look forward to the Wales games, I'll be honest, in terms of international football. If you compare it to like rugby, I really look forward to Wales playing in rugby. I just don't get that same, unless there's competition, and call me whatever, but like, I don't know, I think it's the system more than necessarily the team. The way that football runs its international breaks and the spectacle of the games is just, some of them are so dull and boring, and I guess that's partly down to how Wales play, but not even just subject to Wales, just the international breaks in general. Like England, not that I support England or anything, but the way the qualifiers go, they're playing San Marino, who cares? They're playing like people who literally do the same job that I do and then turn up and play for their country because they don't have a professional league system. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's literally like me putting on some boots and playing against England. So I just can't. I know it is what it is, and you've got to give everyone the chance to qualify, but surely there's a better way of doing the system.
The qualifiers are hard to buy in, and I think they did this like Nations League thing, which is a bit, I don't know. Yeah, that's confusing enough to talk about it. Yeah, but like, no, yeah, I do look forward to watching the Wales games, and I'll watch them. But yeah, they just need to change the way it's set up. Why can't we have like sort of games all through Saturday? Why can't they do like, everybody plays on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then everybody plays the second game on Saturday and Sunday, and then have a week break till the club football starts up again? Because you could have like Wales playing, Belgium at 12, and then England and Albania are on at 3 o'clock, and then there's a 5 o'clock game. Like your usual sort of Saturday, and you'd buy into it. But by the time you've watched like Wales on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was, and then you've got like Northern Ireland on Thursday, and then someone else plays on Friday, and then you said you get to like England and San Marino. It's just like, yeah, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, like the Champions League in it, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then play the second, and a lot of games on Saturday and Sunday.
But even if they need the extra day and just do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then that's it, or and then do the same the week after. But it's not even that as well. This break, Wales have played 3 games, one of them being a friendly, why do they even need to put that friendly in? Like, why do you need to squeeze the friendly in between the two competitive? Just because of money, probably. But like, I really don't care about we've seen a second string Wales team playing against Mexico.
It was a good win, though. I enjoyed that.
It was, but apparently it was quite hard to watch, was it?
I know. Yeah, I did watch it. I know what you mean. Like, they didn't need to shoehorn the friendly in, but it was a good win for Wales in that aspect. I think.
Yeah, it is a good win, and you've got to give the players the experience. But there is a lot of international breaks and international games that they play. Wales have done better of recent years, but I think the difference is obviously when you compare it to the competition football, that is a spectacle. Like you've got the Euros, it's full of big teams, and it is exciting, and you want to see the best football on display, and you kind of buy into that for a couple of weeks, don't you? But
I get what you mean.
I don't know what the solution is, but I don't get excited for the breaks because maybe it's because they cause so much disruption as well for club football.
Yeah, it's a bit of an inconvenience, isn't it? Especially now with everything going on, it just seems to be a bit of a thing. I can understand with Wales though, because again, club rivalry always comes in with Wales all the time, which is really annoying as well. So it's hard to it's hard to buy into it sometimes. You could see it on the weekend. There was a sort of just looking at social media, you could see there was Kiefer Moore scored, but Ben Cabango's had a great game, and then that journalist that always piped up about Cardiff's name, that Paul, whatever I can't remember his second name, so long second name, says about all the best players, backhanded comment, all the best players come from the capital, whether they play for whatever club they play for. And it's just really, how can you get behind a nation when it's like that? And maybe it's the same for England and stuff. There's you've got your Manchester clubs and Liverpool, and
I feel maybe I don't really see that though.
Yeah, maybe we don't see it, but just that after the Mexico game, that sort of comment coming out from our own journalists saying that.
What's he trying to say? Gareth Bale's from Cardiff area, is he? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah. What sort of point scoring is that? I can understand why
credit of where his mother gave birth.
Yeah, but what does that do? How does that rally a sort of a fan base behind Wales, isn't it?
I think there's a stat to say how many, if they're going down that route, and I don't want to add to the conversation, but Swansea has, as a club and an academy, produced more talent for the Welsh international scene than any other club in the last couple of years. So, if he wants to go down that route, then that's the facts. Where your birthplace is completely irrelevant. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. If both clubs are producing players for Wales, then Wales benefits. It doesn't matter who's producing more. If Swansea's putting money into their academy when they're in the Premier League, and as a result of it, we've got before that, Joe Allen, then you've got Ben Davies, and you've got Neil Taylor. I know he came from Wrexham, but made his name at Swansea. Cabango, Ashley Williams, I know he again made his name. But I'm just saying that benefits Wales, and then Cardiff doing the same. If they go up to the Premier League, although I can't name as many. Declan John did have a stint, but he's not really anywhere now. I know they got Kiefer Moore now. Obviously, that's a good one. He's doing well for Wales. Give credit there.
Ramsey as well was Cardiff.
Ramsey, it doesn't matter. It just helps. Wales wasn't in a good place for football. 10 years ago, maybe even less than that, 5 to 8 years ago, and all of this has helped us do better now. When you look at the composition of the Welsh squad compared to England or some of the other big countries, we've got players called up from League One and League Two. We've got Josh Sheehan played against Mexico, didn't he? I don't know if he off the bench, but played for Newport in League Two. Do you know what I mean? Another Swansea boy, just saying as well in regards to that guy.
He's part of the problem, though.
Yeah, but the fact that we are competitive and in the top 30 in the world rankings, it's a massive part to both clubs being successful, going up to the Premier League, investing in the youth, and people coming through.
It's definitely coincided with Swans going up and Cardiff going up as well, and obviously having Gareth Bale has helped that last sort of
Yeah, look, Bale is an anomaly though, isn't he? He's that one player that comes once in a generation, and we won't see another Gareth Bale we might not even see another Gareth Bale for Wales in our lifetime to that standard of that quality. You could say Ryan Giggs was there before, but is he the same level? That's another debate.
Oh, well, yeah. Bloody hell. If you want to open that one
I
up,
don't think for Wales,
I'll settle
Ryan
in
Giggs
for the night.
I don't think he was as influential for Wales as Gareth Bale has been.
Oh, no, definitely not. No.
So, I mean, you just look at the tournament, and Gareth Bale got Wales to a tournament, and Giggs didn't. So, but it doesn't matter where they're from. The bottom line is the rivalry on the pitch. If it spurs both clubs to do well, if we're both fighting each other to get promotion and we want to one up each other, ultimately that's going to help Wales. And when it comes to Wales, put the rivalry to the side.
Yeah, look, you'll probably never get rid of it. It's just the way it is without the Derby, two main clubs in Wales. You probably never get rid of it. But
I think it was right in the Euros, wasn't it? People tended to leave it in the Euros when we were there.
Yeah, it seemed to be a good, like a better atmosphere. But yeah, it just seemed to slip back into old ways since then. And I think that's why a lot of people probably don't buy into the international football as much as they do for the club, which is understandable. But,
I mean, I hate Kiefer Moore when we're looking at championship games, but if he's scoring for Wales, then I'll support him. It's really not a problem. One day, Kiefer Moore's not going to be a Cardiff player anymore, and he'll score against Cardiff potentially in that. It probably doesn't mean that much to Kiefer Moore after he's left Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? So everything at the end of the day is a fake. You're just making it up anew. So I don't know. It's just stupid. Anyway, the bottom line: this all is a result of the fact that Connor Roberts had a bit of a stick on social media, didn't he? Because of
he slipped.
Because he slipped, and a lot of Cardiff fans like to jump on him, and they sent him messages saying how poor he was, and obviously including the Jack stuff, being a Swansea player. And his partner came out and said that she had to basically go on his account quite regular and delete abuse before he gets back from the football game. And I just find that quite sad.
Yeah, I mean that's where we are, isn't it? It seems to be getting worse now, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is with the lockdowns and stuff. Maybe maybe the abuse has always been there, but we just haven't seen it. I
think it's because it's been made a big thing now, so people are highlighting it. But the thing is, you can put a picture of a footballer up and hide behind it, essentially say whatever you want. There's no repercussion. Even if your account gets banned, just set a new one up. And they know it's in the media a lot now, so the people that kind of do it just keep doing it more now because it's getting attention. So bringing attention to it, as much as you want to bring attention to it to make it better, kind of it seems to be getting worse because, again, today, Cabango and Matatondo, I think, have both been subject to racist abuse on social media. Swans have put out a statement in regards to that. I haven't seen what the abuse was or anything, but why? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think because it's in the media now and it gets heightened and thing, it's almost a win for them, isn't it? It's like what I've done. I've done this comment and it's gone all over the place, and it's all like you said, they'll just make a new account and it's almost a win. Yeah. But I just I don't know where it ends, to be honest, at the moment, because it's just the same old cycle. Like someone says something, everybody blows up, everybody supports, which is right and rightly so. And then the clubs make a statement, the FAW make a statement, and then Instagram or Twitter or something make a statement and say, "Oh yeah, we don't agree with this, and we've deleted the account." And then,
but we are a platform for free speech.
And then that's the end of it, and then it rolls on again into next week.
So the issue is the companies need to do more, and that's the only way anything's going to get solved. There isn't anything really the club can do on that scale. They can't physically stop people from doing it. All they can say is what they do and put a statement out to say they don't approve of it, and protect the players as much as they can. Same as the government, really. They can't, unless they make it law or something that these social media platforms have to do more. I don't know if that's something that can happen, but they've been addressing it actually in the government, these issues of hate speech on social media, but that's a conversation that maybe needs to be discussed more, because Facebook is Instagram, Twitter, all of these platforms, TikTok. I think TikTok's getting quite bad for trolling.
Is it?
Yeah. They just kind of hide behind the fact that they're providing a platform of free speech and they will delete these accounts. But okay, the damage has been done, and you deleted their account. So they just carry on about their life, and do whatever they want. If they said the same thing in person to the people that they say them to, they probably end up in hospital or have a black eye, or there's some repercussion. There is no repercussion at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that's it. And we're just going to have the same conversation next weekend when another player makes a mistake or something. It'll be someone else, and we'll say the same thing, and nothing gets
Yeah.
done about it. We
And it's
should.
not, yeah, it's not exclusive to players though, because obviously Amy, who's come on the channel a couple of times, gets the same sort of thing because she's a girl who talks about football.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think at one point we'll
Well,
get to the point where something's going to change.
we all know the answer, isn't it? It's having the identification on your social media. But when is it going to happen? The question is when.
I feel like something will happen. Like maybe we'll take another one of, which is sad to say. But we had that case last year of was it Caroline Flack, which took her own life.
Yeah.
We'll have another case, another high-profile case like that, and then there'll be another outroar, and then maybe something will change then. But unfortunately, as disgusting as it is to think about and say, that's kind of what it takes to make change sometimes, and that's just really bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I totally agree. It's got to come to something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we can like hashtag identification, get it rolling.
Yeah, let's. But yeah, and say we want, like, if we get trolls for this, whatever, not really interested. Like, we've got a block button, doesn't really bother me. But I just think something needs to change. Just do something better with your life, innit? Like, it's not enjoyable for anyone, so just don't do it. Anyway, we'll go back to the football.
Let's go back to the football because
we'll be all day talking about that. Otherwise,
yeah, let's do it.
It's a never-ending cycle of conversation. So we talked about if we enjoy the international breaks. So just as a recap, obviously there's still a game to go. Wales are playing 3 games in this period. We were kind of hoping some of our players got a rest, but we'll talk about them individually in a second. The first game was a World Cup qualifier against Belgium. Wales ended up losing that one a 3-1. Probably a fair result on the reflection of the game. But maybe 2-1 would have been fairer.
What a goal we scored though.
We did take the lead, and I think dreams of like our memories of the Euros win against Belgium started coming back a little bit. Conor Roberts had a massive part to play in the goal because he did get a lot of stick for one of the goals we conceded. So I just want to highlight he did have a massive part in the counter-attack that led to the goal. Gareth Bale played an absolute superb ball into Harry Wilson.
Yeah.
And it was a good finish. Harry Wilson, Cardiff player, I'm complimenting him. Good finish by Harry Wilson.
Lovely goal. Fair play. Enjoyed that.
Shows potentially what we can do.
Yeah. Good signs, I think. Yeah, I think it's just good feeling with Wales at the moment. I think
there's
a lot of
good underlying
players.
issue though. There's an underlying issue, and that is like Ryan Giggs.
Oh yeah, I don't know what is going on.
That situation needs to be resolved for the Euros.
Yeah, it's probably not for us to comment on what's going on, but
look, whatever's going on the sort of official side with Ryan Giggs. I'm not interested in that. What I mean is the Welsh FA need to make a decision on who's going to lead Wales into the Euros, because if there's uncertainty around Ryan Giggs, like, they need to make a decision, because for me, you need to give whoever's going to do it the most amount of time you can.
I think is this the last international break now? I think it is before.
I think they have more.
No, I think they only have like one. I think they only have friendlies now at the end of the season, don't they? Before the Euro start, I think. I could be wrong.
So Wales are playing the next match against
Czech Republic,
but then the 5th of June. So that's just after the season's finished then.
Yeah, so that's it then. So there's no international break, and then that's just Euros camp build up then, isn't it?
So his number 2 stepped in for this week, didn't he?
Yeah, Rob Page, isn't it? Yeah,
so what, are they just gonna, if Ryan Giggs is still not available by the summer, he carries on? I feel like that's the only option now.
Yeah, but I think they should have done it by now. I think they should have said, look, he leads us into the Euros. Rob Page leads us into the Euros.
This is what I mean. This is why that's what I mean when I'm saying like a decision needs to be made.
Yeah.
Because it can't be helpful for the players going into a tournament with that uncertainty. Because what if they did decide to bring someone else in? Like, say, worst case scenario, whatever happens to Giggs and he's not allowed to carry on his job, and they have to bring someone else in. There's no time to, like, it's a completely new manager starting fresh in the tournament.
Yeah, they won't bring in a new manager anyway. They'll stick with, it's either going to be Giggs or Robert Page, and he's been in the camp, so they'll be used to him. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they're gonna have to do something soon. Maybe after this run of fixtures, now they'll have to sort of just say, Robert Page leads us into the Euros and Giggs can come back afterwards.
Yeah. Anyway, so Wales against Belgium, 3-1. Harry Wilson got our goal. I believe Joe Rodon had a very good game. Kept Romelu
He did.
Lukaku
He
in his
was
pocket.
played very well.
Yeah.
Joe Rodon, in all fairness,
Nice to
he was
see
excellent.
from a Swansea perspective as well. Just nice to see him doing well against top opposition. Obviously not really had loads of game time as Spurs, but Lukaku considered one of the best strikers in the world. So nice to see him keeping him quiet really, and hopefully that signals a big future for Rodon. Which I know he's not a Swansea player anymore, but you always like to see him doing well.
Yeah. He was class.
Dan James a bit quiet.
Yeah, he was a bit quiet, wasn't he? That's another one. I'm not really sure with him with United because he tends to he's been playing lately, isn't he? He's had a few games.
Hot and cold, and he.
Yeah, and then he just seems to disappear then for a few months. Yeah. So I don't know.
So Conor Roberts was the only Swansea player that featured in that game. Probably didn't have his. It was average game in it, just like a 6 out of 10 probably. So he had an impact in the goal. Yeah, he slipped, but I think a lot of players were slipping. So let's not go hard on him for slipping because the pitch is slippery. Sometimes it happens. Like as annoying as it is, it's not like he purposely fell on the floor, is it?
No, I know. Yeah, everything he done all right. I think he must still be knackered. I would have liked to seen him have a break from a.
I am frustrated
from a Swansea point of view.
Because he's probably going to start again against Czech Republic.
Well, this is the issue now, isn't it? Because we play Friday night, and Conor Roberts is going to start. He's likely to start on Tuesday, isn't he? A bigger issue is the England under-21s play on Wednesday afternoon, and Guehi's going to start, isn't he? So he's not going to get back into camp until.
So yeah, we'll discuss all the players individually. I've got about that, but that is frustrating.
Yeah, I think who else we got? Cabango being the setup. I don't know if he'll start because he played the friendly, didn't he?
Yeah, Cabango started against Mexico, so I think he had a solid game.
Yeah, he played well. Yeah.
I didn't see the Mexico game at all. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it. He looked good, Cabango. He did have a good game.
Kiefer Moore scored a goal.
Yeah, good finish.
I was surprised he didn't start against Belgium.
Yeah, I was surprised there actually. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't know what the system is or the way. I don't even know what the best team is at the moment. No, Joe Allen got an injury, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's another bad one. Bloody hell.
And I think Ramsey is not available.
Oh yeah, Ramsey mysteriously always injured just before a Wales squad announcement.
Probably won't be in the summer.
Oh no, he'd be fit in the summer.
Yeah,
he'd be fit in the summer. But yeah, Joe Allen was a big loss because I almost thought that the Euros were cancelled last year just for Joe Allen to be fit this year because he had a bad injury last year, didn't he?
This is a controversial opinion, but we all always lament the fact that we never re-signed him. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. His fitness has not been good since then. He seems to be injured all the time.
Yeah, I just think this is it. He had a bad injury. He tore his Achilles, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a rough one.
Who knows, innit? Who knows? So we've still got... Conor Roberts came on as a sub in the Mexico game, which I thought was very, very... Why? Why did he need to come on as a sub?
Yeah.
I mean, they called up Brandon Cooper as well, and he was on the bench. Why didn't you just give him a debut instead? They're playing 3 at the back, I think. Were they? Well, maybe I'm wrong. That might have been England under 21s when I looked at them. But
yeah.
Oh no, they did play 3 at the back. Wales. Chris Gunter was playing centre back, so why can they I don't know. He came on for Johnny Williams anyway. Conor Roberts did.
I mean, we'll say that with our Swansea hats on, but I think in terms of him looking ahead for the Euros, he's just looking at his combinations, and it is frustrating for us.
I thought Cooper was going to have a word and be fair enough for the qualifiers, but can you leave him out of the friendly?
Didn't he say that Wales was the only country that he hadn't spoke to out of the?
Yeah, but I thought after that they would have made contact.
No, I don't know.
Because he made a point in the media, didn't he? So I think Cooper will be equally frustrated as us, but obviously that's how biased Swansea hats on. In terms of Wales, yeah, fair enough. But okay, they got to play Czech Republic. We've got nothing to say on that. It's a competitive game again, so expect to see quite a similar lineup, I'd imagine, to the Belgium game. Maybe Kiefer Moore will come in if they play well, I don't know, because it depends what system they play, really. Is 3 at the back the way they go in again now?
Yeah, it seemed that way. on last week. So I think that's probably the way they're looking to go forward, I think.
Yeah. So England there, I just wanted to touch on England because obviously in terms of us talking about enjoying the international break, which was the overriding question here, that's another team that a lot of people still watch, even though they're based in Wales. I think a lot of people take interest because of the Premier League players and stuff.
Yeah, on that as well, I think you're right. But I think like ITV have the coverage for England, and they so it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
And I think the Wales games, I can't remember actually. Did the Wales games come on S4C? I know the friendly was on Saturday.
I don't know, I find the dodgy stream, I'll be honest. I shouldn't be saying that, but I do.
But terrible. But otherwise, But otherwise, all the games are on Sky, aren't they? Like all the games, all the international games are on Sky. Apart from that,
Yeah.
so I think like an England game is probably packaged quite well for people to watch. Like obviously we do watch the Premier League, so we do have a little bit of an interest in it, don't we? To see the players come together. It's quite good.
That's part of the solution then of bigging up the occasion. Like
yeah, why don't we look at like BBC Wales getting Wales games?
Money. Not enough people watch it to make it worthwhile, perhaps. I mean, Wales have historically not been great, have they? So
yeah, it's true.
Maybe now they are a bit better, but how much are the rights? I don't know. How much does it cost to do it? There's always money involved with football coverage. That's another conversation that we might have at the end of the season. So they have 3 games anyway: San Marino, Albania, and Poland. They beat San Marino 5-0. I thought they would have beaten them by more, to be honest.
But it was but it's just an awful game, isn't it? They were like 2-0 up early on, and then they can just see they take their foot off the gas. They could probably have won by about 15, to be honest.
James Ward-Prowse scoring. Was it a free kick? I'm not sure. He loves a free kick, doesn't he?
I can't remember all the goals, to be honest.
Calvert-Lewin scored twice, Raheem Sterling, and then Ollie Watkins. So fair play to Ollie Watkins, coming from Championship last year. First England call-up and goal. I know it's San Marino, but you can only play against what's in front of you.
Yeah, good on him, to be fair. Yeah. Grimes next.
Yeah, well, hopefully with us though, not with moving away to another club. They won against Albania 2-0 today. We've got Albania soon. I think it's our friendly before
the Euros.
Yeah. So I haven't actually seen who scored in that match, but Harry Kane and Mason Mount's probably more of a first choice team. Foden started.
Yes. Yeah, Foden was class.
So again, they're kind of just getting the job done there, aren't they? You would think maybe I don't discredit Albania at all, but can you name a player?
No, there's a quiz question now.
But I guess that's what England do, isn't it? They win all their qualifiers, win them to 0, all these easy games, and then turn up to a tournament and bottle it.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the reason why the international break is just really annoying, because like England always go like 10 out of 10 or whatever it is in qualifying, and then don't turn up in the tournament. It's just the same old stuff all the time, isn't it? And maybe they look at the qualification process differently, like you said, but
it reminds me of that rant that Harry Redknapp had when he said himself he wasn't interested in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, that was good. He was spot on.
Right? He's saying like, I've got the bin man just playing against England. You know, they're going to put a couple of past them, and then they'll turn up to the tournament when it matters, and they just don't turn up.
He said he couldn't wait to get back to Saturday to come and watch the game.
I'm looking forward to Friday.
I can't wait for Friday.
Okay, anyway, that's enough for England. They got to play Poland next, and maybe that's a little bit more of a competitive game to judge them on. But
yeah.
I won't be surprised if they win that, and then that's what they always do, isn't it, in the qualifiers, as we just said. Specifically, the Swansea players then, so we touched on Connor Roberts, really. He started against Belgium, sub against Mexico. You'd think he's going to start against Czech Republic. Ben Cabango, he's probably had his fill of international duty, starting against Mexico, had a solid performance. Here's an interesting one, though. Actually, before we get to that, let's finish the Wales off. So Brandon Cooper got called up by Wales. He's only played for Newport County this season, which he got injured after we recalled him. Hasn't featured for the Swans. So good on him for getting a call up. Obviously, he's done enough in his stint at Newport to be in the picture. Obviously down the pecking order because of injuries, but he's young and shows that we've got another one coming through. Yeah,
good on him. Yeah, nice for him to get a call up. Well, get in the setup, isn't it?
Yeah, see what it's all about.
They picked him out of the under-21s, and he was in the under-21 squad, and I think they called him up from there. So yeah, it's good to get him in the setup. So
more. So here's the interesting one anyway. Jamal Lowe scoring for Jamaica in a 4-1 defeat to the USA. So we were on about Jamal Lowe's call-up. But he scored a goal, so maybe that's going to help us. They've only got one game, even though he had to fly quite far.
You know what goals do for confidence, especially with Lowe.
He needed
so
it.
Yeah, it was a nice little finish as well, mine. Really, in all fairness to him.
Yeah, I saw the goal. It was really good.
Well, being hopeful, maybe that'll give him a kick on now for the rest of the season, coming back with a bit of confidence. Because obviously losing the derby as our last game, probably cast a bit of a shadow.
I found it quite interesting as well that Jamaica, I think they qualified, haven't they, for something? I believe.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's like an American tournament, but they've just started calling up half of England's not.
Yeah, you got quite a few of them.
Going to make it players. He started alongside Casey Palmer.
Did Casey Palmer get called up for Jamaica? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. God.
Andre Gray played striker.
Yeah, I saw Andre Gray played. Yeah.
Ravel Morrison.
Oh my God, yeah.
Who
fair play.
Mariappa, but I think he might be.
Oh yeah, Adrian Mariappa. Bristol City, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, so I think there'd probably be a few more, maybe going into the next international break. But Ariola didn't get called up from the USA considering he played for them earlier this season.
Well, I don't think anybody's found him yet, have they?
I don't know.
Does anybody know where he is? Has he been seen around Rossi's, or is he? I don't know. Has anyone seen him anywhere?
Yeah, I have no idea. So yeah, Jamal Lowe. So we got Andre Ayew. So he just finished playing for Ghana. He didn't play their game against South Africa, but he went out there for the one they played today against Sao Tome. Not sure if that's how you say it. Did you see what the score was?
No, I didn't see the score. I just seen the video of him.
Yeah, so we got bad news. Go on, breaker.
Yeah, I just seen the video of him limping off at 95th minute, I think it was as well, right at the end of the game.
Snapped him in the last kick of the game, basically, and
he was limped off. Yeah.
So we have to wait and see what that means for his fitness, but hopefully, he'll be available for Friday. But he's obviously got to travel back, get assessed, have a fitness test and all the rest of it. So I'm probably going to say he might not play Friday.
Yeah, he might be on the bench, and
yeah.
I think Friday's going to come too soon for us, I think, with a lot of the players. But I was really confused because I thought that he was called up, but he was not going to play.
No, so he was called up, but not going to play. They played South Africa first, in South Africa. So the quarantine situation, South Africa is one of the places you can't, if you went there, you'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but...
So they called up, the Ghana team called up players that it didn't matter so much. Maybe one's based elsewhere that didn't matter so much for that game. And then called up all the, main players in the big leagues for the second game, where they wouldn't have to quarantine afterwards.
Because I thought I had in my head that he wasn't playing at all, and then I saw that he was playing today. I saw him in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But how does that work though? Because all the other players who had gone to South Africa are still in that camp, and then they've gone into the camp.
Maybe they used two squads. I don't know.
Well, maybe, but yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me. But yeah, well, looks like it's worked out well for us anyway.
So we'll have to wait on the extent of Ayew's injury. He didn't score, but his brother did score a penalty. So he didn't take penalties for a national team. It's weird because he's captain and all that, but gives them to his brother. Ryan Manning didn't feature in 2 of Ireland's games. He wasn't even on the bench, so he's at a rest. They've got another one, but I'm guessing he's not going to feature in that either because that's another qualifier. So.
Well, he might do because they lost to Luxembourg, didn't they? So they might overhaul the squad.
They lost to Serbia and then they lost to Luxembourg, but he hasn't been on the bench for either, and he's only had 1 cap, I think. So.
Right, yeah, he might not.
He's just there in the setup, isn't he? So.
Yep.
Mark he started versus Switzerland. He's also playing in half an hour, I believe it kicks off. They're playing again today. Starting again, so he's probably going to start the third one you said on Wednesday, was it?
Yeah, Wednesday afternoon. We play on Friday.
So he perhaps isn't going to feature as well Friday. But I guess Cabango's probably not going to play, so he comes into that team. And Bennett and Norton, they've had a rest.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world there. I guess he put in solid shift though, because he's starting back-to-back games. They're obviously liking what he's doing there. Obviously, I didn't watch much. I didn't watch any of the games, but that's it. I think I've hit the nail on everyone there. Our players.
Yeah, I think that's everyone in it. I don't think we missed anyone out, did we? A few under-21s, I think, called into Wales, but no other ones.
So I think that's
dropped out, didn't he? Obviously, because he got
injured. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't heard anything come out yet, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.
So that's the international part of this podcast. Sorry if it was we droned on a bit and boring, but I guess that just comes back to it. The international periods, they are quite boring in certain aspects. So sorry if we couldn't make it exciting, because
brutal.
It is what it is, isn't it? But maybe this will be a bit more exciting. We're going to have a quick look at the run-in of Swansea, Watford and Brentford, the three teams that I've got. I mean, look, if Barnsley come and sneak in, or Reading manage to put a hell of a run together and finish second, then we're going to look silly, but can't see it myself. I think it's between the three for second place. So we're going to have a look at who we've all got left to play and what we necessarily might think is going to happen. Let's start with the Swans then. Obviously, Friday night, our first one is Birmingham away. They've just had a new manager.
Yeah.
Without going into too much detail, because we'll do a pre-match on it. How are we feeling for that?
Oh, I don't know. Not confident at the moment.
I think it's like a restart, isn't it? Treat it as a restart and set the sort of like, we've got to get a win.
Yeah, it is. It is a restart, and however we start this game now is going to sort of set the tone for the run-in, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
put a marker down and say, look, we're not out of it. We're still here. And we're playing first, I think, for the first time in a while.
We're playing last. We're playing at 8 o'clock on Saturday night again.
Well, Birmingham is Friday.
Oh, not start Friday. That's what I meant. But it's 8 o'clock on Friday night.
Yeah, but they're all playing Saturday, aren't they?
No, everyone plays Friday, don't they?
Oh, it's Good Friday.
Yeah, it's just Friday and
Friday night TV game. My bad.
No, Friday and Monday then, isn't it?
So we're pretty much all playing the same time, probably maybe at 15 minutes later. I haven't checked the kick-off times for the other ones. I'll have a look now. Watford. Oh, I'm lying. Watford are playing at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, they all play before us.
Brentford are playing half past. Brentford are playing Saturday.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. I thought all the games were on Good Friday.
Saturday and then Tuesday Brentford is.
Ah, okay, so they're one day after on both.
So that
on both days.
They're positive there. They're gonna know. Well, they're gonna know what they need to do. It's only a positive if we win.
Yeah.
Really. Otherwise, sometimes mentality is a weird thing, and even if we lose, and then that goes to their heads, and they don't take advantage. But either way,
look, we got it.
Birmingham away.
We got it.
It's not necessarily as easy as what everyone's going to make out. You'd argue we should win that game, but they've got a new manager. Watford did just smash them, didn't they? So can we go?
No, it's time.
Lay down a mark.
It's time. It's time to be a bit. It's time to be a bit harsher. I think if we want to get second now, we've got to beat teams like Birmingham, and we've got to beat probably half the teams that we play in the running.
Right.
Got to.
Yeah, to get second, you've got to do the job, haven't you? I'm just saying it's not an easy game. That's all. But you are right.
Oh no! There's no easy game, game at all. But if we're saying we want that second spot, they've got to win that game. They've got to beat those teams.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd go as far as saying that the Good Friday game and Easter Monday game,
make or break.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Yeah, I think make or break. I think those two games then.
So it is I don't know who away and Preston at home.
Yeah, I think they got to get 6 points, or it could be curtains. I think
it is right, and I only brought the new manager thing in because it's the same for both teams. Although Preston will be their caretaker manager, I think, rather than a new manager.
I know it's typical, isn't it? We our first two games are like new manager
struggling
games.
For so long, and then by the time we play them next to each other, they've sorted it out. And usually, after that sort of thing, they'll stabilise a bit. And maybe even a draw is good for them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas not for us at all. So we've got to make sure we do a job. And there's a reason they're down there, and hopefully the reason wasn't their manager.
Yeah.
Although I think it was in Birmingham's case. Maybe not so much from Preston's. They've sold a lot of players as well. So again, that's Preston at home. That needs to be a win. Millwall away. I think they're quite
tough
on the
again.
beach.
They're 10th and they're on the beach. It's another one they gotta win.
Yeah, they are 10th and they are 10 points off the playoffs. So
yeah, look,
they could win all their games to get in, but I just think like if they lose on Friday, then they're probably done.
Yeah, I think this is the first 4 games that we've got after this international break now. You said Birmingham and Preston, didn't you, and Millwall away, and then Wickham at home.
Yeah, it's Wickham at home after that.
Look, I mean, realistically, I don't see it happening, but we got to get 12 points there.
I'd even go a step further because then it's QPR at home, and I would say 15.
I mean, look, I don't see that happening. I don't see us winning 5 games in a row.
I'm not saying we are going to get 15, but I think we need to get 15.
Oh, I think, look, if they win those 5 games there, which is realistic, because they can beat all them, especially Wickham and QPR at home, and Preston at home.
We'll compare to Watford.
They'll be in there.
We'll compare to Watford in a second. After those 5, it's Reading away, Derby at home, and Watford away. So Reading and Watford are probably the most difficult. Derby might be safe from relegation and on the beach. Reading might be fighting for their lives to stay in 6th place. So that could be a really hard one. And Watford,
that's
Watford away last game of the season. It might be whoever wins second, or it might be a draw as Brentford second. Like, you don't know what's going to happen for that. That is like, if you can do the job before, but they will also be saying the same thing.
It's a horrific last 3, that is. I don't like that last 3 games. Reading away, Derby home, Watford away. But when we play Derby at home, that same fixture list, Brentford have got Watford, haven't they? So that could be massive for us.
So we'll touch. We didn't mention we've got Sheffield Wednesday away as well, which is in there somewhere, but I haven't got the exact date for that one because apparently it is rearranged.
19th of April, is it? I want to say.
Didn't put it down.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, it's in April. It's one of it's probably in between like Millwall and QPR somewhere in a midweek slot somewhere in them 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess you could go to 18 in that run, 18 points, and that's winning the game.
Well, look, if they win 5 or 6 games there in a row, they'll be in the hunt. They'll be right in there.
Moving over to Watford then. So their home form has been fantastic this season, and they've got Sheffield Wednesday at home to start off with. So I would have rather them have a tricky one after the international break, but I guess that's kind of smoothing themselves back into things, really. So I think they'll probably win that.
They'll do.
Middlesbrough away, so can Neil Warnock do us a favour? Maybe. Reading at home, so they got some tricky games after that first one back. They could drop points quite easily, and we could get back into the picture. Then they've got Luton away. Again, Luton probably going to be on the beach by then. Norwich away. It depends here, because if Norwich are still going for 100 points, they could be still playing like... It's a hard game, don't get me wrong. But if Norwich are kind of like home and dry, you're taking a foot off the gas a little bit. That's not what you want.
Yeah. And
then the last 3 is Millwall at home, and then 2 massive games for them, which is Brentford away and Swansea at home.
That's class. That's their last 2 games.
It's going to be insane that last week, because it could look like we're not in the picture, and then Brentford go and beat them, and all 3 of us are suddenly back in the picture. Like,
can you imagine all 3 are still in it on the last day, and we've got Watford? That'd be class.
So obviously Watford have got 1 game less than both us and Brentford. But still a lot to play for, man. It's hard to predict. I think Watford will...
Yeah, I feel a lot better about it now. I mean, I was looking at it before the international break. I was adamant that it was probably done.
Yeah.
But I think it rests on, like we said, we've got the massive first 5 games are all winnable. I think the first 2 get 6 points on the board, and we'll see where we are then. But
yeah. I didn't do credit for one of Watford's games as well. I was going to say they've got 4 games that I think they might drop point, but I'm going to change it to 5. So Middlesbrough away, Reading at home, potential for slip-ups. Norwich away and... Sorry, I mean 6, not 5. Norwich away, Brentford away, and Swansea at home. They're not, all easy wins for them. But the one that I was forgetting about, Luton away, is actually a massive derby.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So and it's away for them as well. So that's not an easy win either. Because, well, I'm just going from what I see on like the Facebook fan pages for the Championship, but Watford Luton seems to be the most fans are at each other in the entire Championship, from what I can see on social media. They hate each other.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that much. I didn't realize it was that tasty.
Yeah, well, I didn't either, but I guess they haven't really been in the same league for a long time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of all the London games are a bit dodgy, though, aren't they? I mean, Luton, QPR, Millwall, Watford. They can always be a bit tasty, can't they?
So
probably miss some out. But...
Brentford, Watford, they're London.
Oh, Brentford, yeah.
So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Watford, they might have they peaked too early with this mad run of wins they've had.
Yeah, I mean we're asking for a favour, aren't we? But
sometimes though, we've seen in the Championship, like sometimes the team in second is liable to slipping up going into.
I'm not sure what Brentford's running is like, but we'll have a look at that. But I think, our running is better than Watford's if we can actually pick up some form and actually start doing something. Then we were with a hell of a shout there with those first 6 games. I didn't realise how good it was.
Brentford's
now that you've read it out and put it on paper, I'm just loving the look of that first 6 games that we've got.
Yeah, it's definitely. We got over our worst week was Bournemouth Cardiff, and unfortunately we couldn't get anything out of it. But that would have been bonus. Like, this is where you need to win the games to like put us in the picture.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do need others to slip up, but it's the Championship. People slip up all the time. Brentford then, so they got Huddersfield away to start with. So I mean, tricky for us, but everyone else seems to find it all right. Birmingham at home, so they're playing them after us. Hopefully Birmingham will be like, we got smashed twice in a row now, we need to get do better because they got smashed by Watford and then us. That's weird, isn't it? It would be Watford, us, and then Brentford playing Birmingham one after the other.
Yeah, it's funny how it works out when it comes like that to the end of the season.
And Brentford, right? So we've got Birmingham, Preston, Millwall. Brentford have got Birmingham, Preston, Millwall.
Yeah, I know.
But it changes then. It goes to so it's Preston away, Millwall at home, Cardiff at home. Cardiff going to do us a favour.
I got Cardiff away.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bournemouth away, another tough one.
That's a big game, that is, Mike.
Because it depends on form. Brentford could have slipped. We don't know. Brentford could have slipped down.
That's a massive game there, Cardiff and Bournemouth that week, because those two are looking in on the playoffs tonight.
Yeah. So it's really tough for Brentford. And if they don't manage to get wins in the games before, they could be dragged down into it. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, you'd think they will, but if they do slip out, they could be dragged into that fight, depending on what Barnsley and Reading are also doing. Like, if the 4 teams keep winning below them, it's not like, Barnsley are only 4 points off Brentford, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, regardless, Bournemouth and Cardiff will be wanting to win to keep the pressure on Reading and Barnsley.
Yeah.
And then we've got the big ones. Oh, sorry, Rotherham first. So there's Rotherham at home, which is the rearranged
That's
game.
The game in hand.
Yeah. And then it's Watford at and Bristol City away. So they probably got the nicest end of the season in terms of like the last game.
You'd fancy him in that last game.
It depends. If they're out of it by then it's obviously irrelevant. But if Watford go and beat them, they might be not even in with a chance.
That's good as well. If they play Rotherham that game in hand midweek before they've got to play Watford on the Saturday.
Yeah. But that's
quite important.
You might want Brentford to beat Watford.
Well, yeah.
In the current situation, it's Watford that you want to lose points, not Brentford. And then you've got to back us to beat Watford then. And it doesn't matter what Brentford do.
Look, I mean, it would be absolutely amazing if it comes down to that last game, but oh my God, I really hope it doesn't. I'd love it if we got promoted I'd love it if we got promoted the week before when Watford and Brentford play each other and they draw.
Yeah.
And we've got Derby,
4
and that
points
would
or
be
something there.
yeah, that would be the one that took. Well,
But that's a big ask, that is. But then the fixtures could help. There's potential for it, but by no means that's probably like best case scenario sort of.
I'm really glad we did this because that run-in that we've got is so much better than the other two, by far.
Yeah, and it is, but it's only as good as what we make it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Look, if you're looking at that run of fixtures, what is it? 9 games?
9 for us, 8 for Watford, 9 for Brentford.
Right. If we don't win, the majority of those games, we don't deserve to finish second. That's the bottom line. So I think, could probably say it's in our hands with that.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it is tasty. It's tasty though, isn't it? Like, as long as we could keep ourselves in touch, that last couple of games is tasty. Like, as much as it might be unbearable as well.
This is why we need the international break, because I feel so much better now. I just can't wait. I'm just thinking, it's love to be a part of the promotion race, and it's nice to be in the question.
Yeah, it kind of puts a different perspective on the last couple of weeks where we've a lot of the Swans fans and the perception around the team and us drifting off.
Yeah.
It's not at all like we're third, so that's 21 other clubs in the championship that wish they could swap positions with us. And we're moaning.
Yep.
Like, that's the bigger picture, really. Would you rather be Birmingham right now? No, we wouldn't, so...
Yeah, I know, but I think the position we have got ourselves in, we just don't want to see them throw it away now.
Obviously, that's... Yeah. Football is full of heartache and emotion, but...
That's very poetic.
You've got to take the rough with the smooth, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah.
Every time you're in a position where you might go up, you're not going to go up every time. No club will ever do that. We did it, I say we did it. The 2 years before we actually went up from a championship, we kind of missed out on the playoffs, like, agonisingly.
Yeah, we've never actually been in, like, numerous promotion races, have we, for the automatics? If you look at teams like Brentford and like we said about Leeds and those sort of teams, being in the promotion race year after year and not getting promoted. So it is a bit different, isn't it? It's sort of our first.
Successful when we've got there, and it's like, kind of don't know how to take it when we're not.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But even when we went up, it tested my memory, but I think even when we went up in the playoffs, I think we were always sort of third and fourth. I think maybe we creeped into
at some point for automatics, and then it did turn into a fight to who can have the better playoff game by the last couple of
I think it sort of tailed off for a while. I remember we creeped into second like once maybe or twice, but we were never really properly in it, I don't think, like we are now.
No. Yeah, so I mean, look, that was good, and we won the playoffs. And you might even be able, if we are in the playoffs, guys, you might even be able to go to Wembley, some of you. So something to look forward to, isn't it? Like, even if you can't take it, even if you'd rather take second to guarantee Premier League football next year, you've got a nice away day to look forward to potentially. And it's not even it's not even the fact that the Welsh government is like, you can't have fans in stadiums. It's in England, so they've already said that they probably will allow travel outside of Wales by that time. Like, we can travel to England, so as long as fans can go in stadiums in England, you'll be able to go.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm just saying, based on what has been said at the moment, it could all change COVID and all that.
Look, the playoffs could be brilliant. Well, we could be allowed to have fans in the stadium for the playoffs, isn't it? For the home and away leg, isn't it? And I know Wembley definitely.
That's what Boris said. This is why I was making a point. Last time this happened, the Welsh government said no, didn't they?
Yeah. Where was he? Yeah, that
would be disgusting though. If it is playoffs and home and away, you can have fans, and then Welsh says no, but England says yes, and there's no fans at home, but there's fans away. I feel like they'd have to equal it, because that's unfair. That's not fair.
That's a big debate, isn't it?
That would not be fair, would it? Like, and Cardiff might be in the same boat as us if they sneak in. Although, if we play them, then it won't matter because we both won't have any fans again.
Oh God, no! Let's not entertain Swans Cardiff in the playoffs ever, unless it happens.
It nearly happened. Remember that time when it nearly happened?
When
we went up.
It should have happened.
And they were
should have happened.
They were like, we're we'll have to take the Swans fans up like the valleys and come in a different way to Wembley.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I think, to be honest, on paper it should have happened because Cardiff should have beaten Reading. So I'd argue they were probably better than Reading at the time. Oh my God. Can you imagine a playoff final Swans Cardiff? Oh my God.
Can you imagine losing it? I can't.
No, that day. And it would have been the first Welsh club in the Premier League as well. That one, it would have been the game for the first Welsh club in the Premier League.
Well, look, it's the same as the last couple of years in the League Cup. They bottled their chance to play us in a knockout tournament. I think it's like 2 out of the last 3 years, we have played the club that put them out the round before.
Yeah.
On that note, anything else to say on the run-ins?
No, I don't think so. I just, like we've said on other podcasts as well, and I tend to be the doom and gloom, and you pick me up and feel me a bit more positive about the game, and I think this has helped definitely. Looking forward to Friday now, depending on our injuries.
Yeah, I mean we might be talking after Friday and be crying, but hopefully not.
You may have to pick me up on Friday night when
I don't know if we lose against Birmingham and Watford go and beat Sheffield Wednesday, then 9 points seems a lot.
Yeah, that's done then. Yeah, and that's where we are at the moment, and that's why it's a massive game.
The other way around, if we beat Birmingham and they lose against Sheffield Wednesday, then 3 points with the game in hand and to play them, all of a sudden doesn't seem like much again.
Yeah, I know.
And that's literally how much in the balance it is.
I'm gonna do this. I'll do this now before this because this is the checkpoint, right? This is the checkpoint of the season. I'm gonna say this to you now. Do you think we're gonna get second?
I don't think we will. I think we're gonna get. I don't know. I was going to say fourth for a second, but then Brentford have been poor lately as well. I think they have been poor. I think they've been worse than us lately. Like we've been moaning, but they've been worse. So I'm going to say third. I think we're going to finish third.
And then play.
That's
who's going to finish third?
I didn't even know. Don't know what. Cardiff.
Oh my God, no. Do you know what my issue is though? I think if we don't get second, we don't go up because I don't fancy us to. I think Reading are going to drop out, and I think Bournemouth or Cardiff are going to come in, and I don't fancy us to beat either over 2 legs.
I think Barnsley might drop out, mind. I know they've had a fantastic run to get there, but do they have the Can they stay there? That's another question. Can they answer that question? If they can, fair play to them. But Bournemouth and Cardiff are big teams hunting them down. So
yeah, I think the team that puts a run of form together and sneaks into the playoffs will win it this year. Because I think Brentford and Swans missing out. Say it is, for example, Brentford and Swans missing out on promotion. Would be bad. And then I think if it's Reading that are still stuck in there, I don't fancy them ripping up trees in the playoffs. I could be wrong, obviously. And then if Bournemouth or Cardiff sneak in,
you've got to say Cooper though. He loved he has last year's experience, and
yeah. Look, we can't write ourselves off, but he's
got the knockout competition experience as well. And if Watford go up, and Norwich, they're the two with the better defence than us, so we'd have that on our side as well. In terms of for knockout, you just don't concede. I mean, I think we got caught out, didn't we, going to Brentford last year away, that first 20 minutes of that game killed us. If you look at the 2 legs, Andre Ayew also missed a penalty.
Yeah.
So we played Brentford twice this year. We didn't lose. Second game they battered us, I know that. Reading, better team at home, got them to play away. Cardiff, I mean, 1-1 in terms of games. I would argue if we play the same way as what we played in the game the other day, in a game between us in the playoffs, I think we win. I don't think they sneak a 1-0 twice in the same circumstances if that game goes the same way.
No, I'm quite excited though, because it's just good to be in the conversation.
I'm not saying we beat Cardiff over 2 legs though before that gets. I'm just saying if that game happens again, which it could if it was in the playoffs, I think we win that. Who else was there? Bournemouth. I probably feel more. I think that's if they come in, that's probably the one I would have want the least.
I don't think we'll beat Bournemouth over 2 legs.
Same.
I
I
don't
think
see that.
that's the one. I think we got more chance beating Cardiff over 2 legs than Bournemouth, but it would hurt more. that's the trade off. It would
Yeah,
hurt more
yeah,
if we don't, but I think we got a
yeah.
better chance. I think Bournemouth, like they came down from a Prem last year and they got a lot of good players still, so they're in a. I
Well,
feel like they're underachieving as it is.
let's just get second then.
Well, that is the hope. That's the hope. Go on then. Before we end, we'll both say our top 6. I'll write them down and we'll see you.
Top
who gets
6.
it.
All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do this now, and then we'll read them out at the end of the season. At the end.
So we're not reading them out now then.
Yeah, we can read them out now.
Right,
we'll just come back to it to see how far off we were.
I'm guessing we're going to put both Norwich top.
Oh, I went for Barnsley.
You're lying.
Oh, Barnsley to win the league, obviously.
So Norwich top, yeah?
Yeah, Norwich top, yeah.
Okay. Who you put in second? I ain't going Watford.
Watford, yeah.
Now I want to change it because you've done Watford. I don't want to be the same. So basically we're predicting the playoffs.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Okay,
we'll do it all the way through if you want.
I've done the whole league. I don't know enough about the lower.
No, not the whole league. I mean the playoffs.
Swansea.
Do your third. I've gone Brentford third.
Brentford 4th.
Swans 4th.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth 5th.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Cardiff.
Oh, Reading and Barnsley to drop out. That's big.
Well, it's got to be big sometimes.
I'd like to see their run-ins actually. I think. Yeah, go on. I think Reading 5th. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think Bournemouth will definitely be in there. Bournemouth will definitely be in there.
You can't float all these around. You need to say what you think is going to be.
I'm writing it down. I've got Norwich, Watford, Brentford, Swans, Reading, and Bournemouth. I'm sticking with that.
So you got Brentford in 3rd. Swansea
Brentford in 3rd.
In 4th. And then
Reading and Bournemouth.
Oh, so you think Barnsley will drop out as well?
I want Barnsley to stay in.
No, you said it now. It's on paper. All
right, okay.
Barnsley's running, right? They've got Reading in their first game back.
Oh, that's massive.
So a draw there helps Bournemouth and Cardiff massively.
Oh my god, that's huge. Cardiff are going to get in there.
Then they've got Luton Town away, which isn't easy. Middlesbrough at home.
Yeah.
Which is tough still. Tough game. Coventry City, Huddersfield, Rotherham, Preston and Norwich. Norwich is the last game. So it's not too bad. Like, it could be worse.
Yeah, and do you know what I've decided?
What?
So Brentford are finishing 3rd and the Swans are finishing 4th. Swans will turn Reading over 2 legs and Brentford will beat Bournemouth and it'll be Swans-Brentford in the playoff final.
I think I'd rather... I hate Brentford. I just don't want that at all.
I kind of do want it.
Right. Well, I wouldn't mind if we win to see Thomas Frank like crying, but
part of me wants to see.
I just love it because when they lose a game, like they lost the other day, and he's like, or they drew, and he's like, oh, I'm not concerned because the stats say we made all these chances, and on another day we would have won. Well, mate, you didn't win, and this focus on, if you look at the stats, you've made more chances than any other team for the entire league. You're not first, though, are you? You're 4th. And you're quite far off first. So clearly, this just, I'm not concerned because the stats say, well, he didn't win this time. And there's been a couple of other games recently that you haven't either. So what's happening?
So you're not a fan then?
It's just arrogance, I think. He just comes across as arrogant because it's never like, the other team defended well. It's like, well, I'm not concerned because the stats show that we made enough chances to win the game and next time we'll put them in.
I'd love a crack at them in the playoff final, mind.
I would love to see him ball it again.
Imagine we shit out a playoff final win, like just Cabango just wipes out the keeper and takes the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, kills the keeper like Horahan.
1-0. 1-0.
No,
someone gets sent off for Ayew rolling around on the floor.
It would be better if Andre Ayew's in the box and then the keeper comes out and Andre jumps over his arm but then rolls around and then the ref gives a penalty in the 93rd minute. Cardiff have got Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday away, Forest is at home, sorry, Blackburn at home, Reading away, Brentford away, Wickham at
right.
home, Birmingham away, and Rotherham at home. So they've got 2 big games, but the rest of them are quite winnable. And if they beat Reading, that's massive in terms of a 6-pointer.
I think if they beat Reading, they'll probably sneak in with the rest of the fixtures.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. They could easily get in.
So you're going Bournemouth, Cardiff then, you?
Yeah.
So that means
I think it's going to
Cardiff.
happen. I think it's going to happen. Bournemouth have got Middlesbrough at home, Blackburn away, Coventry at home, Huddersfield away, Norwich away, Millwall away, 3 away in a row, Brentford at home, Wickham away, and Stoke. So again, Norwich and
Brentford,
2 games.
And
They
then-
could easily sneak in.
I think you're right. Actually, I think Bournemouth, Cardiff, but I'm going to stick with my gut and go Reading, Bournemouth.
And then looking at Reading finally, so they got Barnsley, we said that already. They played Derby. They got Watford, Cardiff, then Luton, then us, Swansea, then Norwich.
Reading.
Oh my god!
Nah, can I change my mind?
No, it's down now. That's probably the worst run-in. That's probably the worst run-in.
Yeah, Reading are going to drop out, but they're in my playoffs.
So you're a Reading fan now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been just over an hour, so let's call it on that.
Wait, before we finish, what? So you had Swans, Cardiff in the first in the semi-final, and that would be what? Brentford and Bournemouth. What's the final? And who's going up?
I think it will be Brentford and us in the final.
Oh, I'd love it. I want it. If we don't finish second, I want Swans Brentford playoff final. I just love to see it.
Could you imagine the Swans Cardiff semis and the Swans Brentford final? That's carnage.
That'd be the most horrific 2 weeks ever.
I know. And I don't know if I want to call that game. I have to say Swansea because you got to. But I don't know.
Well, they bottled it last year in the final.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look, we'll come back to that.
We bottled it. You could say we bottled it in semis, although we probably shouldn't have been there. So
yeah, we'll come back to that when we get there.
Let's maybe we'll revisit this 4 games out and see if we're still in the picture and have a look at it. But on that note, been a good one. So cheers for joining, Lee.
No worries.
If you haven't done so already, we did release some merch, so feel free to check that out over on Teespring. The link should be in the video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, then just go to our Twitter, which is
hang on,
at Swanscast Media, and there'll be a link. So Lee's just going to show anyone on YouTube the t-shirt right now. So that is the hold it up a bit higher. Hey, so there's one of our t-shirts. That's a black one. We got a couple. If you've got any ideas, we'll make some more. But we will be looking to increase our range. All of the money we make from that will just be going straight back into our content to improve the quality, like the microphones, cameras, anything like that. So appreciate anyone that does support us, and thank you very much if you have done so already. As always, though, don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all our content, or follow on Spotify, like the video, engage in the comments or on our Twitter, let us know what you think, and we shall catch you in the next one.
See you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to click the like button to help us grow. To keep up to date with all of our new uploads, hit the subscribe button and push the bell to ensure you are notified of all of our new videos. As always, engage in the comments and let us know your opinions on what we discussed today. And if you want to support us directly, check out our new merch where you can find some awesome Swansea related t-shirts.